Hi guys, I want to share with you my L6 steel experience after using it for about a week. Okay, previously in my tabletop review and tabletop test, I used this knife, the CKC Hunter, in L6 steel to open a coconut. Okay, and it was successful. The past week, I've been using this for food preparation. Um, I used it to slice smoked salmon, uh, used it to cut china pear, um, taking off the skin and cutting it up, as well as what did I do to it with it? Yep, some food preparation. Yes, and even cutting bread with it, French loaf. Okay, so um, this steel uh, is a tough steel. L6 steel is a tough steel, meaning it doesn't chip easily. Uh, so that's a good thing. Another good thing is that L6 steel um, is easy to sharpen. Okay, um, stropping with a leather strop loaded with black and green compound can get this back to shaving sharpness whenever it gets slightly dull. Um, and it's very easy to sharpen with sandpaper, okay, if you need some heavier restoration. So it's easy to sharpen, it is tough. So these are the two good characteristics of the L6 steel. Uh, Talking about the negatives, L6 steel is a carbon steel and it oxidizes or corrodes very fast. A patina forms extremely fast on this steel, and there's even rust, okay, forming on it, as you can see in this belly area. Okay, this is light rust. Okay, so um, when I use this knife for food preparation, uh, the patina forms very quickly, and each time after using, I would um, I would wash it down uh, with detergent uh, and rinse it off with fresh water. Okay, and I'll wipe it dry. Okay, so uh, when I hung this knife dry um, in my humid tropical environment, um, uh, the rust it would worsen. Okay, so yep, it doesn't when it's not oiled, this steel does not hold up very well in my humid environment. Okay, so that's the first negative of this steel, is that because it is a carbon steel, and among carbon steels, I think this one um, forms patina or oxidizes and rusts, okay, the fastest. Okay, second thing is that because this something about this steel is that the oxidization is so fast, and so um, probably that's the reason why when I cut uh, like fruits with it, it leaves a kind of salty uh, smell, you know, salty smell of iron, okay, on the fruit. um, and I taste it when I eat the fruit. There's this salty tang to it, you know. And when I smell this steel, okay, after it's being washed, okay, there is a very strong iron kind of smell to it. Like, when you smell blood, there is iron in blood. Okay, that's what makes the blood red. And when I smell this L6 steel, okay, in its cleaned form, okay, I can smell that heavy, uh, slightly fishy kind of iron smell. Okay, a sort of a sharp tang in the smell. Yes, it's a very iron kind of smell. So this smell is and taste is imparted to the food that is cut. Okay, so I personally, after trying it, testing it for a week, do not really like it for food preparation, especially using it to cut food or fruits that is going to be consumed uh, raw. Okay, I won't use this knife for sashimi, definitely not, because it would taint the raw fish smell, the taste, okay, of the raw fish rather. And I will not continue to cut fruits with this knife because it leaves uh, a, a taste, okay, on the fruit, and I don't think it's healthy in the long run. Okay, and when I wipe it down with tissue paper, after cutting fruits, okay, wipe it down, and I smell that tissue paper. There is a very, very strong uh, oxidized iron or rusty kind of smell. Okay. um, yep. So yes, uh, I don't face it in other kinds of, in all stainless steel. Okay, but this steel, okay, somehow um, uh, there is a kind of taste, yes, a kind of thing that imparts. Okay, I don't know why. It must be some chemistry to the L6 steel. If you ask me, I will not recommend it for food preparation. And I cannot constantly oil this knife with mineral oil if I'm going to use it for food preparation, because it just doesn't make sense, okay, having a lot of mineral oil in my food all the time. So I personally do not recommend this for food preparation. It's still bearable if you're going to use this to cut raw meat that's going to be cooked, okay, or vegetables. That should be fine. But myself, for all kinds of food preparation, if you say general, okay, it's not for me. Um, but this knife will be good for like woodworking. Okay, this steel, I think it's okay for woodworking. That's perfectly fine, okay, for woodworking. But if it's for camp tasks, that usually involves food preparation, so it's not for me. Okay, even for camp tasks. So well, but this still is still an experience. Okay, um, and bearing in mind that I live in the tropics, okay, a humid environment, and also I do not I did not oil my L6 steel, okay. Although after using, I dry it immediately and keep it dry. But even in the dry state, it continues to oxidize, you know. And yes, and thirdly, after I get it shaving sharp, okay, drop it really sharp, I sheathe it, and 1 or 2 days later, when I remove it from the sheath, it's already done. Why is that so? I believe it's micro oxidization on the edge, okay, making it dull. So by a quick stroke or two on, a quick one or two strokes, a few strokes on the straw, okay, it quickly removes that micro oxidization on the edge, and it becomes very sharp again. However, it just proves that, in my environment, if I do not oil it, okay, it gets dull very fast. Okay. Yep. So this is L6 steel for you, and so I recommend that, if you're going to use this knife as in the field, you know, always have on hand with you a cloth, you know, to wipe it down, okay, or you can use your shirt or trousers, and also you need to keep this oiled, okay, and it's also highly recommended that you have a field strop or a field sharpener with you, okay, like ceramic, a portable ceramic stone with you, okay, to sharpen it, okay, whenever it gets dark. And it's very easy, okay. A field strop, like those that KSF cells would do, okay, loaded with like black compound, okay, it's more than enough to get this sharp again. So bear in mind that, if you are going to use this steel, okay, you need to constantly strop it, and you also need to have it oiled, okay. So if you're not planning to have it constantly, uh, you know, um, uh, if you are not careful, you know, in taking care of this steel, you know, um, I think this steel is not for you if you live in the tropics. Okay, so must remember that this steel is carbon steel and it's high maintenance. Okay, so yep, it's not, you can't treat this like a stainless steel. Okay, so other than that, this knife is just excellent. The ergonomics, the design is just one of the best that I've ever held in my hand. Yep, yeah. So L6 steel. Okay. Uh, so if there are any questions, you can leave them below. If you have any comments or any advice to give, please feel free as well. Okay. Um, Yep, so this is knivesfishwild sharing my experience with L6 steel, okay, with you. You can see, you know, slight rust forming, okay. Uh, I've cleaned up some of the rust, but still you can see some of it, right? Okay. But this is very mild rust, okay, it's fine. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video. L6 Steel Experience. Nice fish well. Wishing you good day.